Hey there, Coastal Bend. Chris Thomasson joined by Riviera Kaufer head coach Jay Aleman. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
All right, so you guys are heading into year two with the Seahawks. Do you feel like this team made progression last year as the year went on?
I got hired so late in the year. It was hard to kind of see it during the season. I think most of our progression. Now don't get me wrong, we played well toward the end, but not exactly where my standard would have been. But I think the biggest progression and biggest step we took was the summer, the spring into the summer. That was big for us, and then hopefully seeing the fruits of those labors, coming on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions. Do you feel like you noticed a difference this offseason and camp and then in the scrimmages?
100%. I feel like just year two in the offense, it's a unique offense. And the kids finally, we saw it click in the first scrimmage against Banchetti and then against a really good Fremont team last Thursday. And so I think right now we're at a really good spot where I think we're hitting on all cylinders for the beginning of the year. Not, where we want to be at the end, but for the beginning of the year, head and shoulders above where we were last year.
Yeah, I know you guys have a decent amount of starters back. Do you feel like you've seen improvement in those guys now with some experience under their belt?
Oh, 100%. And I think one of the biggest things for us is that we're able to get 39 kids to come out for football this year. And that is an unprecedented number. And I think when you do that, we've got a little more depth to where we don't have to play, that one kid the entire game. And so I think a lot of kids are taking more ownership because we're giving them more responsibility. And I think that's one of the cool things about building at a small school is getting those numbers and then getting those kids an opportunity to play and show out.
Yeah, from what you've seen so far, what do you think are some areas that this team, might surprise some people early?
I think one of the things is just how we play as a unit. And I know everyone's gonna, count us out, and we've been in the bottom of the rankings for a while. But I think the big thing is us playing together. Our kids are having fun. They finally, understand what it means to play Riviera Seahawk football, and I think that's a big thing. I think our team speed on defense is going to surprise some people, and just the amount of young kids that we have coming in are hungry, and I think that's another big thing. We've got a young team and they're hungry. We're looking to change the tide.
Yeah, how big is that buy-in factor? Obviously, you had a lot of success coming in from IWA, and then also this is a program that has had success. It's been a while, but they won some games in the past.
Sure. No, they had a streak there back in 2016, 2017 where they were 11-win team. And so just getting that same thing back and building a culture here, that of winning. And that's something that we do each and every day. And I'm blessed to have a great coaching staff from the girls and the boys side, where we took over the entire school and we said, hey, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. We're not going to accept defeat in everything that we do, whether it's a weight room, whether it's a workout, whether it's a tournament game or a district game. And so changing the culture has been a huge, huge thing for me here in Rivera.
Yeah, and I think we've kind of seen that in some of the winter and spring sports as well. So now hopefully we'll see it transition to the football field. But what are your thoughts on the move down to Class 2A Division 2?
We got rid of Refugio, which everybody would be happy to do that, right? But man, we've still got a pretty tough district. La Villa is a perennial powerhouse in 2AD2. Santa Maria followed us down in our district now. But other than that, Agua Dulce has a great squad. But I really feel if we can get things right, we can put ourselves in a position to have the opportunity to maybe get in the playoff, situation. So that's exciting for us. I think we still have got a tough district with some great teams, but we're excited about where we are.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of La Villa top of the district, but what's it going to take between now and October, November in order to crack that top four?
I think one of the biggest things is we want to see that maturation process from not only understanding the offense and the defense, but just playing fast, understanding our responsibilities, playing fast, keeping the injury bug at bay. For a small school, that's always a big thing. We don't have the numbers like a Vets or a Cal Allen, right? So keeping the injury bug at bay and just keeping that fire burning. I think once we get that first win, I've told the guys, we get that first one, and it's not going to be a secret, right? Some things have changed. So they're excited. They're itching to get to Thursday night, and we've got a couple more days of prep, but we're excited about our opportunities.
All right, Coach, you guys open up Thursday at home against St. John Paul II. We'll have a camera there. See you guys there.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.